This isn't a crash. It's worse because crashes end fairly quickly. Right now, the housing market is in a stalemate. We have an enormous spread between people that want to sell and people that want to buy. Both sides are backing off. Some are saying it's the largest spread in many, many years, maybe ever. But here's what people keep getting wrong about this market. Yes, sales are down roughly 50% from a few years ago. Yes, turnover is historically low. And yes, fewer people are moving. So people keep calling the market frozen. But frozen sounds a lot like not moving. It sounds temporary, but neither one of those is accurate. Stalemates don't mean nothing's happening. It means both sides are waiting. And underneath it all, pressure is building. So what exactly is a stalemate? What does that mean in real estate? Well, it's a lot like a poker table. Nobody wants to show their hand. The chips aren't flying, but the game is still running. What breaks the stalemate is pressure. Somebody gets low on chips, somebody gets fatigued, or somebody gets impatient. And the first person who moves, well, they don't guarantee the win, but they control the hand. They set the bet size. They force other people to react. They define the risk and the reward for the table. And that's exactly what's happening in real estate right now. Sales aren't zero, but very few people feel urgency. Buyers can't afford today's payments. Sellers can't or won't give up on yesterday's low interest rates. And the price of everything is much, much higher than it was just a few years ago. That's why things feel stuck. Everything broke at the same time. So there's no panic. There's no excitement. It's just hesitation. But underneath it all, pressure is building. Price discovery is slowing. For example, in 2021, it took less than 10 days, sometimes less than 5, to figure out what a house would sell for. Today, days on market is closer to 30, but that's just the average. In many neighborhoods, it's a lot longer. So that doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means that value is being discovered slowly. It takes longer to figure out what a property is worth. Sellers who can't wait anymore because of a life event, a medical issue, liquidity needs, rising carrying costs, they are quietly resetting the prices. These are not fire sales. They're necessity or life events, or I'm done showing my house everyday sales. And in some communities here in Las Vegas, the HOA fees and insurance have nearly doubled. So when an HOA goes from $250 a month to $400, or insurance goes from $1,000 to $1,800 a year, that math does not work for some people, and that math helps them move. This is what a transition market feels like. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. It happens gradually. So where do we go from here? How do stalemates actually break? Well, they don't break all at once, and they don't break with panic, and they don't break suddenly because everyone agrees. They break with forced movement. So not like an avalanche, but more like a glacier. It's a slow, inevitable movement. It's always moving, even when it looks still. Nothing looks dramatic day to day with the glacier. It's slow, but it's always moving. The pieces don't break off because everyone agrees. They break off because pressure makes it unavoidable. Life events, changes, divorce, estate sales, investors whose math stopped working, builders that have to move inventory. Those small breaks don't make headlines, but they change the landscape and set new comps. And those comps change the market. So the market doesn't reset emotionally, it resets through necessity. Here's what this means for you if you're a seller. Waiting is not neutral. It's like milk left on the counter. Nothing dramatic happens at first. It doesn't look bad, doesn't feel urgent, but every minute it sits there, that liquid is declining. And there's nothing wrong with the milk, but time changed its condition. When no one is offering on your home, you're losing leverage. Not because the home is bad, not because you did something wrong, but because buyers are operating in this market, not the one we used to have. In a stalemate market, time is the enemy for sellers. What feels like strength, delisting, rage quitting the market, that often turns into weakness because you don't lose equity all at once in a standoff market. You lose it slowly. It leaks away in denial. That's the real risk in a market like this. Here in Las Vegas during the crash, 08, 09. The steepest drop happened in 09. What dragged on was the waiting before and after. Crashes are fast because they force the agreement. Stalemates are slow because no one has agreed yet. The market isn't broken, it's transitioning. And transitions reward sellers who move early, not the ones that wait for certainty. And here's a postscript for you. I'm not here to manufacture urgency. You don't need to rush, but you do need to be clear and intellectually honest about the market you're in, not the one you wish would come back. Are you curious, though, what exactly is happening in your neighborhood? Because every neighborhood transitions at a different pace. Some are in need of inventory, some are stalled, some have already reset. If you're a seller, the smartest move right now isn't rushing, it's getting clear. Clear on whether your neighborhood is truly in a standoff or whether pressure has already shown up in the comps. This clarity doesn't cost you anything and it doesn't force a decision. It just lets you move with the market instead of reacting to it later. If you'd like to understand what phase your neighborhood's in, I'm always happy to have that conversation. You can call, text, or email me at the information below. We'll see you next time.